In this episode, I'll share my favorite top 20 Miss Universe 2023 headshots. I'm Dani Walker. Thanks for clicking on the episode. If you like this type of content, please consider subscribing and supporting the channel by hitting that super thanks button, joining memberships for exclusive content, or of course, sharing the episode with a friend. That is a huge help. This is my first Miss Universe 2023 episode of the season with all of the Miss Universe contestants. I am still doing a little bit more research on all of them before I can share with you some of my pre-preliminary picks, but I am about to share with you in no particular order my top 20 favorite headshots of the contestants this year. One thing I have to share is that there is no shortage of stunning images this year at Miss Universe. It was so difficult for me to narrow things down to a top 20. El Salvador. So this is really cool that I get to include her in this episode because she is the host country. Everybody's going to be competing there, so that's super exciting and special. I really like this image. This is so beautiful. It's just so soft, and it allows you to really just focus on her natural beauty in this photo. So I am really loving this. This also looks like a very Fadil style of image, but somebody else could have easily shot this one as well. I really like it. It's simple. She doesn't need much. Indonesia, so beautiful and doll-like, right? Just that porcelain skin, her really beautiful cheekbones. She just looks so great here. I would have softened up the eye makeup a little bit. I just think she's so beautiful. She really doesn't need it, but they did a really great job styling her hair, and I also very much like the wardrobe for this image. What a cool, fun neckline this is on her, and it's also not very overpowering. It's not like the focal point of the image, so I really like this photo. Aruba is so beautiful in this image. I love that you can see her natural beauty shine through. You can see her skin. Obviously, she has makeup on, but we can see that. Now, one adjustment I would make with this makeup is you can see that highlight line under her brow, and it's continued to extend down and out. It's following her brow line, and I really wish that shortly after the brow, they would have just blended that in. So those are tiny little things when it comes to makeup that can affect your image, and it's stuff that judges may focus on that you don't want them to focus on. Great Britain, I have to say, I love this hair on her. These really big full curls, they're kind of vintage looking to me, but she's really beautiful. I just wish that they would have put her in a brighter piece of clothing, especially because she's a brunette and has that dark background. I think it would have been more of an opportunity to kind of stand out and pop more in the image. But putting that aside, if you just focus really in on her face here, I feel like she just looks so beautiful in this image. And like I said, I really like the hairstyling, and she looks fantastic. Colombia is such a stunning contestant, so I was really curious what image were they going to submit for her. This looks like it was shot by Fadil, and I love that. I really am glad that they went with very natural makeup here for her. She's very bronzed and golden, love that. And then she still has a really strong signature brow, but it's not overdone. It's not like I'm only looking at her brows, but they're definitely something that make her stand out a little bit more. It's a noticeable feature that's really beautiful, and I love that. It makes this image unique. Lebanon, for me, with her, it is all in the eyes. I was just so captivated by her gaze in this image. Also, really loving the styling here. Very interesting neckline. I'm a really big fan of that for headshots. Like, just kind of an unexpected neckline I think is always more eye-catching for headshots. And then also I really like her earrings as well. They're a little bit sparkly, but she didn't go with a loud silver color. She went with like a darker blue to match the color of the dress that she was wearing, so it wasn't too much for me. And I just think putting it all together, it's very well done. Vietnam is a country, gosh, I've been rooting for them for years. Vietnam, Indonesia, Thailand. I'm just waiting for one of them to get a recent Miss Universe title. I'm waiting for it. But Vietnam does not disappoint for me for all of her styling and images every single year. So what gets me about this image is just the look in her eyes. She's just staring into my soul here, and I love that about this. I think that they could have gone without the necklace. It wasn't really necessary, but overall still here, beautiful image, and definitely one that makes me just stop and go, oh, okay, who is that? Canada's eyes in this image really pop out at you, which makes this photo striking for me. Love it. Great hair, makeup, lighting, editing, all of that. One thing that struck me about this though was that you can tell that she has an illusion type neckline on her dress or her outfit, whatever she's wearing, because a piece of it is sticking up in the back. So I wish they actually would have edited that little piece out on her shoulder blade, because it's a little distracting. It looks a little bit strange, and if you don't realize that she's wearing an illusion dress, you might be wondering what that is. So that's one thing I wish they would have taken out. Love her blue eyes with the dress. I think it was such a smart move. Venezuela is just gorgeous, so how could she not have a great image, right? So she has a really great image here. One thing that struck me is how natural the skin looked, and I really, really like that. It's real skin, and it looks like very, very minimal editing. It's just her. I do think, however, overall, I wish the image was brighter. It just looks kind of dark and shadowy. I think we can brighten it up a little bit. But this is great for Venezuela. I think she just looks so beautiful here, and I also really love the subtle pink eyeshadow and lip color that goes with the pink that she's wearing. France, I am super excited about her because she could have actually competed in 2022. She was eligible then. She did not go to Miss Universe then, but she's there this year, and I have been a fan of her ever since she won her national title. I just feel like she's super special. She's very, very photogenic. She just has this like classic elegance to her. She definitely has that French style down. Her image is different. Her hair is styled up. Obviously, this is more of like an evening gown type look here, but she's really, really beautiful in all of her images, and this one is no different, so she's on the list. I'll be honest, Dominican Republic was on my edge just because of the lashes in this image. I do wish that the lashes were toned down. I think that if they were, then I would be crazy about this image. I actually had to go back to her image, zoom in on it, and actually focus on her and ignore the eyelashes. And I did this for a few contestants because there aren't really rules when it comes to headshots. They let you have creativity, and I love that. But with that creativity, sometimes the things are hit or miss. And so for me, the eyelashes here are a miss, but the image is a hit. So she made it on my top 20 because you can tell she's beautiful. USA, oh, it makes me so happy when I get to include my home country in this episode. So she is just gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. And she's like this in real life. That's what blows me away. It's such minimal editing that I see in her images. Don't believe me? Just go on her Instagram and watch her do Instagram lives with no filter on. Stunning. She looks like her images, and that really says something when you can photograph like this. She looks gorgeous. Love the styling. This is so interesting. We saw her win with her hair down, and so this is a change. To see her with the hair pulled back makes me wonder, what is she going to be doing? What kind of looks is she going to be bringing us for Miss Universe? I'm so excited for her. Just stunning. Thailand to me is one of the most photogenic contestants this year, and this image is no exception. Now, there was something kind of funky going on though for me with the editing and the resolution of quite a few of these images, so I'm gonna let it slide for Thailand because I've seen so many of her other images, and I know she's stunning, and I know she's very, very photogenic. But I will say there's something about, maybe it was the app that I was looking at these photos on, that made a lot of the images a little bit more grainy, you know, have too much contrast in them. I don't know what was going on, but there was something. I much prefer being able to look at the images on a desktop. I felt like the resolution was so much better there for some reason, maybe because it's so much bigger. So that's my one little complaint, but this is a beautiful image regardless of that for Thailand. Love the glowing skin, you know, the simple hair, makeup. She's stunning. She's one of my overall favorites. Mexico. Okay. So whoever edited this image is very talented. Very, very great editing here. Her skin looks so beautiful, but there's still some texture we're seeing, and I really like that. To me, she almost looks like a painting in this image, but just really, really easy image to like personally for me. Also one that stands out. I just like that the focus is on her, you know, small earrings, plain black top or dress, hair blown out of the face. What more can you want in a great headshot? Puerto Rico has a pageant textbook headshot, but she is just so beautiful. So this image to me wasn't surprising at all. It's a very standard headshot image for a pageant, but her eyes really steal the show. That's something I noticed about her at Miss Supranational and at her national competition. It's her eyes that really speak to the camera, and I love that about her. Also, she kind of reminds me of Rob Dyrdek's wife in this image when I look at it. Let me know if you see the resemblance. Philippines has such a cool and edgier image. It's just not what I would expect. Now, I do think that they could have styled this a little bit less. She looks like she's wearing the jewelry sponsor of Miss Universe Philippines, which I totally get, like shout out to the sponsor, but I personally don't feel like the pearls match the style of the top because the top is so fresh and edgy, and I feel like pearls are quite a bit more classic. And then they went with like kind of like a slicked back wet look, a little bit of hair in the face. So I feel like overall there's a lot going on. I would have preferred just one of these style elements, but what I was really focused on here was her face. So when I went ahead and zoomed in on this, I feel like this image just really shows off her natural beauty. She just has a very distinct look, and I love that. She's just herself in this image, and I am really looking forward to seeing what she brings to the stage because she won in a black evening gown at nationals, and I believe she said she'll be wearing black again at Miss Universe, which is rare. Arbany won in black last year, but we just don't see it a lot. So I'm curious if she's still gonna stick with the black. Chile. So she looks like a doll to me, right? She has these really, really big, beautiful eyes, great eyebrows too. This image though stands out to me because of her facial expression. She's almost looking at you like you're in trouble or something like that. Like she's kind of giving you the eye in this image, but she definitely stands out. So I had to put her in this episode, and also really, really beautiful hair and makeup to complement her as well. Slovakia. This was actually right up there in my top 2 favorite images. I think she could easily have been my favorite out of this batch, but I love it. This image is so beautiful, so natural. I just really, really love that she's showcasing that natural beauty. This image reminds me of a cross between 2 people, one of which would be Olivia Jordan, and then I can't remember the other that I'm thinking about. Let me know if you see that resemblance. Spain, love this. Really, really soft, natural lighting. I love the natural makeup for headshots. Personally, I'm just a fan. I don't know if those are her natural curls or if her hair was styled like this, but I think it's such a beautiful choice. I love it for this image. Love the hair blown back. We're really able to just focus in on her facial beauty, and she just looks stunning here. I don't think she looks over edited at all. I'm obsessed. Have you been counting and keeping up? That was 19. So now I'm going to share with you my 20th image, which also happens to be my favorite image this year out of the group. And to me, the image that really stopped me in my tracks belongs to Nicaragua. So I've been hearing about her in so many different favorites, and I'm still gonna do a little bit more of my own research before I share too much about her, but I have to say that this image is so beautiful. So great lighting, editing. I mean, the makeup and the hair is literally perfection. I don't feel like it's too overdone. I also really like what she's wearing. The black and the white is just so classic. And then because she had a lot of skin going on, they accessorized her a little bit more. She just looks so great in this image. She looks so elevated and elegant. She looks marketable and bookable for any campaign. She's ready to work with any sponsor. And for that reason, and because when I scrolled, I stopped to really look at it, for that reason, she is going home with my most photogenic award this year out of all the Miss Universe headshots. So those are the ladies whose headshots I was loving, but I mentioned at the beginning that there were quite a few others that I really love, so I'm going to give a really quick mention of those ladies as well. Also on my edge were Albania, Brazil, Germany, Honduras, India, Ireland, Panama, Peru, South Africa, and Ukraine. I'd really love to know who your favorites were in the comments below, but let's remember to keep it respectful and kind and encouraging to all of the contestants. And don't forget to download the Miss Universe app. I promise nobody's telling me to tell you that. I'm saying this because if you have a favorite, make sure you are voting for her so that she can move on to the final competition. Thanks for watching today, and don't forget to subscribe for more Miss Universe content for 2023. I look forward to bringing that to you, and I'll see you next time.